What's going on, you guys and gals and people and friends? Just doing a quick 12 bar blues lesson, and this is going to be for beginners here. And I want to do this today. We're going to do this in G because I'm going to do another lesson later on that if you do work on this one, you can kind of branch off and do a little bit more with it. So we're going to start with this one. We're going to keep them in the same key. So this is going to be in G. Let's start just very briefly talking about what a 12 bar blues is. It's obviously 12 bars. It's obviously a blues structure. Now, for those of you, if you're at beginning levels, a blues is going to usually, and you know, these are always kind of for the most part, right? These are all malleable. These are all bendable. So for the most part, it's going to contain your 1, your 4, and your 5 chord, but you're going to make all of those chords dominant 7th chords for the most part. In this case today, that's what we're gonna do, right? So in this case, in the key of G, we have a G7, a C7, and a D7, okay? Now you can find those 3 chords with that simple pattern on those. That's going to be the root notes of those 3 chords in any key, right? So I'll show that in the tab here, and I also have other videos on just that concept for beginners, so check those out. We're going to just go through the 12 bar of the blues, and I'm not going to say G and C. I'm going to say 1 and 4, okay? So I'm going to refer to the numbers, okay? That way we're getting more of a sense of, you know, any key, the pattern, okay? So I'm just going to play through it and talk through it here very quickly so that you kind of understand the pattern. And really that simple, right? So let's go through this. So we've got 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 5 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, and back to your 5 chord. And that resolves back to your 1, okay? So it's really that simple, and it's going to follow that in any key. If you were doing it in A, right? Same exact pattern. So I hope that helps. That's really quick, and I'm not going to dive too deep into it here. I just wanted to go through just those bullet points of it's the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. It's 12 bars long, and it follows a very similar pattern. Now you can do it where it just sits on the 1 chord and it doesn't do a quick change on the 2nd bar to your 4 chord. Back to the 1, you can just sit on your 1 for the first 4 bars, right? Lots of songs. Then to the 4 chord, right? So that's, of course, without the quick change to the 4 chord at the beginning in bar 2, then back on bar 3 to your 1. They're both equally as common for beginners. If you listen to blues tunes, you're going to hear both of those all of the time. So definitely you can use this to also, if you're a beginner, to when you're listening to a blues song or a lot of rock songs that have a blues structure or a lot of other styles that have a blues structure, you'll begin to be able to start to hear that immediately. And once you can noodle around, and if you start to hear, like if you noodle around and that G minor pentatonic sounds like it's like totally money, then odds are if you start using those chords, you're going to hear that it's a blues in that key, and you're going to be able to work out the chords really quickly, right? So if you're a beginner, kind of knowing this form is going to be really helpful, because once you do, and once you just know a little bit of minor pentatonic, or even, you know, just any type of scale, once you're comfortable just a little bit with that, enough to kind of play along with something and hear when you're in the pocket with it, then you'll be able to right away find out what chords it's playing over, right? On your own, without having to look it up. Of course, in 2024, you can also just Google it. However, I'll remind you that I don't think that I mean, that does help, and even at my level, I still do that from time to time. Oh, what's that? I just want to look up what, you know, but it's much more helpful, and it's going to train you better. It's going to help you better if you use your ear to try to do that, at least a lot of the time, some of the time, just as kind of an exercise, right? So cool. Hope that helps for more of my beginner, intermediate students. Much love, you guys. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you on the flip. Later.